All of this has happened before, and will happen again. Another series set in the beloved Battlestar Galactica universe is in development for NBC's newly launched streaming service, Peacock. In this video, I'd like to talk about the history of this iconic franchise and the recent attempt to bring Battlestar back to our living rooms. The science fiction franchise was originally created by Glenn A. Larson. The success of Star Wars led to a green light for production of Larson's Battlestar Galactica TV series, which premiered in 1978. The premise of the series focused on a distant part of the universe where humans have populated a group of planets known as the 12 Colonies and have been involved in a lengthy battle against the robot race known as Cylons. A surprise attack orchestrated by the Cylons almost wiped out human civilization, and the only military ship to survive was the Battlestar Galactica. Banded together with a fleet of civilian ships, they begin a journey across the galaxy in search of the lost 13th tribe of humans, their long-lost sister civilization, Earth. During this journey, they are hunted relentlessly by the Cylons, who want to ensure humanity's extinction. Larson served as executive producer for the series, and in 1979 it won a People's Choice Award for Best New TV Drama Series. Unfortunately, due to declining ratings and high production costs, the series was canceled after its first season. A massive letter-writing campaign from fans asking for the show's return caused ABC to greenlight a spin-off sequel series. The new series debuted in 1980 and revolved around the events that followed the colonial fleet's finding of the fabled civilization of Earth in the year 1980, and covertly protecting it from the Cylons, as Earth is unprepared to deal with such a formidable foe. This series revival was not well received, as fans were dismayed by the contemporary Earth setting as well as the mostly new cast of characters. Unfortunately, issues behind the scenes continued to negatively affect this IP. Several attempts were made at reviving Larson's science fiction franchise through the years. Overall, it seems the original concept for Battlestar Galactica was simply ahead of its time, and when the series was reimagined by Ronald D. Moore in 2003 with a 3-hour miniseries that debuted on the Sci-Fi Channel, it was finally met with the success that the property deserved. A weekly television series was then developed to continue where the miniseries left off, with the main cast reprising their roles. The 4-season series was praised for its writing and directing, costume and set design, its visual effects, and standout performances from its incredible cast featuring Edward James Olmos as Commander William Adama, Mary McDonnell as President Laura Roslin, Katie Sackhoff as Kara Thrace, call sign Starbuck, and Jamie Bamber as Captain Lee Adama, call sign Apollo. Fan favorite Richard Hatch, who played Captain Apollo in the original series, also had a significant role in this new revival. The new Battlestar Galactica won numerous awards and is considered one of the best shows of all time. In the years since the show ended in 2009, there have been numerous spin-off creations in the form of webisodes, made-for-TV movies, and a short-lived prequel series. When NBC Universal announced its new streaming service, Peacock, the company also revealed its plan to produce a slew of original content for it. This plan included a Battlestar Galactica reboot as part of a 4-year deal with Mr. Robot and Homecoming executive producer Sam Esmail. Esmail has made clear that he is a huge fan of the science fiction property, and it was high on his list of titles he wanted to produce for NBC as part of their deal. The word reboot, especially in association with a well-established and beloved IP like Battlestar Galactica, can be cringe-inducing, which is something Esmail himself addressed not long after the series was announced. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter in October of 2019, when asked about the daunting task of handling the series reboot, Esmail said, quote, "The word reboot was used when we were first talking about it, and I cringed. Showrunner Ronald Moore, he just hit it out of the park with his series, so why would I even want to touch that? I talked to him and said, A, are you okay with this? And B, if you are, how do we proceed? He said he was okay with it as long as it wasn't a reboot, which was in line with what I was thinking. But the world of Battlestar Galactica is so rich, the mythology is so interesting, that I think there is a lot to pick from and explore. I appreciate that Esmail isn't looking to essentially remake the much-beloved sci-fi series, and that he made sure to get in touch with Ronald Moore to get his approval and thoughts on the new show. One of the things that made Ronald Moore's revival resonate with fans is how the showrunner strived to stay true to the spirit of the original series and incorporated certain elements that honored what came before. Esmail tried to make this clear when the project was first announced on social media when he said, "BSG fans, this will not be a remake of the amazing series Ronald Moore launched because why mess with perfection? Instead, we'll explore a new story within the mythology while staying true to the spirit of Battlestar. So say we all." So while the series is inspired by the previous incarnations of Battlestar Galactica, it is not a remake of them. It will exist in the same sci-fi universe that Ronald Moore created, while branching out and telling an original story within the established mythos. Later, it was announced that Michael Leslie, the lead writer and showrunner of AMC's spy drama The Little Drummer Girl, has been brought on board to write and executive produce the new Battlestar Galactica series. Leslie, in a statement, said, quote, "I am beyond excited to be taking on this iconic and inspirational show. As a lifelong devotee, I know that the possibilities of Battlestar Galactica's world are infinite, and that each iteration has raised the bar for epic and intelligent sci-fi storytelling. The teams at Esmail Corp, UCP, and Peacock are second to none, and I already know that we are going to honor Glenn A. Larson and Ronald D. Moore's landmark series, and break new boundaries with our own vision. It's a dream come true. One I just can't wait to share with fans, new and old alike. So say we all." This will be going into uncharted territory for the franchise, as it will debut on a streaming service. In regards to the format for this new show, Sam Esmail has confirmed that it is intended to be a long-running series. There continues to be a varied approach when it comes to streaming content in terms of length of episodes and how the episodes are released. Considering Esmail's most recent comments, they'll continue to experiment depending on the story progression. In an interview with Collider, Esmail said, quote, "There might be episodes that are longer than others. There might be a 3-arc episode that could stretch along 3 episodes. There might be a standalone episode that's a half-hour long. We want to play around with all forms. We don't want to put any guardrails at all. We want to just tell the best story possible for each episode. What we're doing here is, every episode you have the opportunity to change up the tone, to change up the point of view, to tell a different story, to dissect one thing, or to go massively wide on another thing. So we're going to lean into that, not shy away from it." Esmail continued saying, "We're going to really experiment with form on this one because Battlestar, again given the rich mythology that's in there already, we want to hit every nook and cranny, and because of the format, because of Peacock and streaming, and they've been such great partners with us in trying to experiment, we want to get in the writer's room and let the story tell us how it wants to be released." Streaming platforms have certainly tried a variety of release strategies with mixed results from viewers. It'll be interesting to see how their experimental release strategy will fare with this particular project. I think there is something to be said in regards to consistency in episode length and release strategy, however. The 2004 series had plenty of cliffhangers throughout its run, but it was that anticipation that fostered debate and conversation about the episode each week and what could come next. I'm not sure how viewers will respond to Esmail's experimental approach. At this point, it is still in early stages of development, so there have been no casting announcements yet, though I am hopeful we might see some familiar faces from the previous series. Right now, the focus is on constructing the story. On that front, Esmail noted on The Hollywood Reporter's TV's Top 5 podcast that showrunner Michael Leslie has a great take that is in line with his previous project, The Little Drummer Girl, where politics play a big part, but without compromising the entertainment value. Esmail said, quote, "In my opinion, you gotta have that. That's the #1 priority. I want people to be excited and emotionally invested and on a thrill ride. But at the same time, I think Mike is going to bring a lot of depth and parallel or mirror what's going on in the world right now." Sam Esmail's intention is to start shooting later this year, though he admitted that a lot is up in the air right now due to the current health crisis and getting the logistics of filming figured out. Esmail said, quote, "It will be tough to get it off the ground this year, but that's my goal. I'm pretty impatient. Again, I am a fan of this show, so I want to see it as soon as possible. So I'm gonna push for 2021. I remain cautiously optimistic as per usual in regards to this new series, but I do hope that the creators of this new show take some cues from its predecessors in regards to weaving political and religious themes in a series with an entertaining and engrossing story with well-developed characters. It's good to note that storytelling and entertainment value are important to the creators of this new show. Ronald Moore's series certainly set the standard for tackling heavy themes of politics and religion while not compromising on story and character development. It's clear that viewers can find political allegories enthralling when there is still a reasonable measure of escapism. That was something I admired about the storytelling in Moore's Galactica series, namely that the core themes of politics, religion, and survival were weaved within a gripping story of humanity's struggle to not only survive, but to be worthy of existence. So say we all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. And let me know what you think about this new series, its experimental release strategy, and what you would like to see the series explore. Thank you all so much for your support, and as always, have a very nerdy day.